Start from the top again. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the fourth and final event of the 2021 FOLA. And for those who've been with us for the series, FOLA stands for, you know it, Festival of Literary Arts. We are presenting this program through the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council through its Office of the Poet Laureate. And today's event, Community Check-in and Healing Conversation, a virtual intergenerational community forum and open mic, is being presented in partnership with the Prince George's County Memorial Library Service, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, and the Nora Brown Foundation. My name is Sistah Joy, and I serve as the Prince George's County Poet Laureate. And I'm honored today that my co-host will be poet and educator and musician, percussionist Jali-D. Now, today's event will be both a community conversation and a poetry open mic. Now, while this forum is open to the community at large, we've invited some guest participants, guest panelists, as it were, teens of the Dialect of Prince George's, both Prince George's County Youth Poets Laureate and our Youth Poetry Ambassadors. We've also invited a few teens from Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission's MLK Poetry and Poster Initiative to speak on significant topics of the day, including, but not limited to, and get ready, these are some heavy ones here, COVID-19, xenophobia, gun violence, police brutality, depression, grief, loss, mental health, domestic terrorism, civil rights, fear, anger, faith, love, and more. So as you can see, these are some serious topics, and we hope that our teens are going to lead the way, but we will follow them whatever direction they choose to go. Now, given that today's forum addresses such significant topics, and since this is our final 2021 FOLA event, we're excited and absolutely honored that we will have opening remarks by Maryland State Senator Melony Griffith, who also wears the prestigious hat of Deputy Chief Officer of Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council. Welcome, Senator Melony Griffith.
Well, good afternoon, Sistah Joy, and let me say good afternoon to each and every one of you who are participating in this 2021 Festival of Literary Arts. I've had the joy of plugging in a couple of times over the past few days and hearing some phenomenal poets share spoken word, just pour out themselves through poetry, and also enjoying the other creative expression that has been a part of the events. I have to begin by first thanking Sistah Joy, who's done such a phenomenal job as Prince George's County's first poet laureate. She's been serving in that capacity with distinction. She's participated in events throughout Prince George's County, and I know our Chief Executive Officer and Chief Curator, Rhonda Dallas, and the Board of Directors, and all of the staff at Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council join me in saying thank you, Sistah Joy. I'm going to share a little story with those of you that are watching and listening in. I actually met Sistah Joy some years ago and got to participate in a festival of literary arts some years ago that we hosted down in Southern Maryland. And I had never, even though I'm a true lover of the arts, I grew up around performing artists and musicians, I'd never been to an open mic poetry event. And so the first event I attended of that kind was hosted by Sistah Joy. And I was just so moved by the way that she made people feel warm and welcomed and confident, even those who shared that it was their first time sharing poetry in public. She just made them feel so at home. And so I've just enjoyed getting to know her and participating in the events over the years. Now, she shared in my introduction that I am, in addition to working with the phenomenal team, and I know Josh is on the line, and we have a phenomenal staff at Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council. I'm also honored to represent the 25th District of Prince George's County in the Maryland State Senate. And so when Sister Joy shared with me the topics that she was presenting for today, I was really moved by the fact that they reflect so many of the challenges that are being faced in our country, even as we sit here together in this moment and share this creative opportunity together. And everyone knows, it goes without saying, that for the past year, our country has faced a reckoning like I haven't seen in my lifetime. We have been dealing with economic issues, health disparities. We've watched the police relations, the police community relations and confrontations reach a different level. We've watched our legislators across the country attempting to respond to the social justice needs of our community, all while attempting to help our students catch up after learning loss and getting our community back to work and helping our business owners earn the revenue that they invested to earn. And so right now, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for me to share that for me, the arts just give me joy. Hearing people sing, hearing people speak, watching people dance, even watching people do painting is something that I just am not gifted in that area, but I get energized by participating in the creative expression of others. So for those of you that are going to share today and those of you that have shared throughout this festival, I want to thank you for just pouring into me and helping me lift me up. And I know that today will be no different. I'm so looking forward. I got to meet Jali-D a few minutes ago, and I'm so looking forward to hearing from all of you and just participating in your moment, this moment that we're sharing together of creativity. So thank you for letting me share a few words. And I really, really appreciate and hope that you all do this opportunity for this festival to bring us together to be creative. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Senator Griffith. We appreciate that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. The, um, the issues of the day are so significant. And I can definitely say that I would not want to even try on your shoes to handle what you're faced with in that capacity. But we know that you have been tried and tested and proven true. So we thank you for all the service you provide for the years that you have for the state of Maryland and certainly for the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council. Thank you so much. Now, with regard to the artist that we have today, as and I will identify him as my co-host. I'm speaking of Jali-D, as the senator briefly mentioned. Let me tell you a little bit about him before I invite him to come and say a word or two, offer his first offering for the FOLA event today. Jali-D is a longtime DC resident. He is for many years has been involved in artistic endeavors. In addition to being a primary school teacher, he is a skilled percussionist, a brilliant poet, a dope MC, a gifted songwriter, just an average guitarist, so he says, and a well-respected children's entertainer. His ability to simultaneously play instruments while reciting his songs is a special talent rarely seen. Most importantly, Jali-D's creative material is thoughtful, substantive, witty, and demonstrates that in addition to being a multi-talented creative genius, he is also a serious free thinker and intellectual. Now, I've known Jali-D for quite a few years, and I'm very pleased to be able to reconnect with him for this event. Welcome, Jali-D. Tell us, what would you share to help kick off our final FOLA event?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Sister Joy, and it is great to reconnect with you. And I always know if anything you are involved with, that it's positive, it's poetic, and it's something that I want to be a part of. So, and also to be joined by such esteemed guests, Senator Griffith, pleasure to meet you, and I wish you the best, and fight strong for the people. Like Joy said, I'm what I call a rap percussionist. I do my poetry in my rap form. Often I do it while I accompany myself playing percussion, and I'm also a songwriter. So I think given the topics that Joy has laid out today, which are very important, I want to start off doing a song that I wrote for my guitar. I actually wrote this before COVID, and I don't know, it may feel a little weird performing it now, but it had to do with, it's called Too Busy Living. But certainly COVID slowed us down. So we'll see how the lyrics for this stand up. Too busy living to wonder why we are living, or who is it that's living the life that we are living. We're too busy living to wonder why we are living, or who is it that's living the life that we are living. We're too busy living to wonder why we are living, or who is it that's living the life that we are living. So slow down, stop for a second, pause for reflection, introspection, a lesson only learned of practice, but we get distracted to a life that's backwards. The fact is I offer dogma augmentation, long are the benefits of little meditation, and breathing and stretch, elevate and contemplation. No matter what your faith or your normal ways of praying, just stop, look, listen, what the hell, smell the roses before it decomposes or whatever life discloses. Rich man, poor man, you both are gonna die. We got one life to live, don't let it pass you by. But we too busy living to wonder why we are living, or who is it that's living the life that we are living. We're too busy living to wonder why we are living, or who is it that's living the life that we are living. Now back when you was young and dumb, when life was young and fun, you didn't think if your life was in sync, or if your soul's living or you're driven by instinct. It's just why it be society, you're living instincts. Then you age and change, mature, you want more. Start facing your fears and asking what you're here for. And like a brick, it hits you. You start yearning a life that's richer, and start seeing the bigger picture as it's written in the sand. Man, know thyself. Give yourself a hand, won't you grow thyself? The irony of this fast pace we throw ourselves is the only way to win the rat race is slow thyself. But we too busy living to wonder why we are living, or who is it that's living the life that we are living. We're too busy living to wonder why we are living, or who is it that's living the life that we are living. We're just vessels nestled in the midst of all that exists, here to bear witness. Since Luca, billions of years of evolution, and the primate hominid naturally selected self-human. But the past is history, the future's a mystery. They intersect here in the now. When we live, we explode our frontal lobe and other zones in our mind. In this moment of time, this moment's divine. But we too busy living to wonder why we are living, or who is it that's living the life that we are living. We're too busy living to wonder why we are living, or who is it that's living the life that we are living. Are you too busy living to wonder why you are living, or who is it that's living the life that you are living? I'm not too busy living to wonder I'm living, or who is it that's living the life that I'm living. Gotta ask yourselves, who is it living the life that I'm living? Got one life. Who is it living the life that I'm living?
Okay, Jali-D. Significant question for a significant time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Jali-D, what an intro. Yes, yes. So, Jali-D, I'm going to give a shout out at this point and ask a very good friend of yours to speak to our group. This is none other than the mighty Patrick Washington, who is the founder and director of Dialect of Prince George's, the Youth Poet Laureate Program Coordinator. Patrick, welcome to today's forum. What would you have us to hear as your opening words for this community conversation?
Well, first I'm going to say good afternoon to everybody involved. Greetings, Senator Griffith. Great to see you again. Shout out to my brother Jali-D. It's been a long time. I'm blessed to be here. It's been a terrific weekend of FOLA events. You know, yesterday kind of left me on such a high note. I haven't really come down yet, and I'm glad to see a couple of my poet ambassadors kind of straggling in, but you know, they're out. A few of them left me some messages. Marissa, the 2020 Youth Poet Laureate, she sent her regrets. She had to go to another event, but she was thinking about us. And you know, it's just been, yeah, this has been terrific, and I'm so glad that we can leave on a high note of possibilities. You know, we're going to, you know, the way that we can kind of, you know, we can accept the gravity of what we're dealing with, you know, through this pandemic, but there's still a lot of hope and humanity and beautiful art that we can create to encourage each other throughout this whole thing. And that's why I'm so glad to, you know, to listen to people like Jali-D and these young artists that we'll be hearing from soon. You know, my goal is to cultivate young leaders, and I think we're doing a great job of that. And shout out to you, Sistah Joy, and the Arts and Humanities Council for helping.
Thank you so much, Patrick. And we know that your teams, they've been wearing a little bit of roller skates themselves, because I know they've been popping up at my events all weekend long. Thank you so much for that support. And we see Jordan Culmer is with us today with your group. And of course, I see Trinity Washington with you today as well. Thank you, Jordan, and thank you, Trinity. Patrick, are there others that I'm not calling names that are with the Dialect group? You're muted. You're muted. Patrick, you're muted.
I don't see them in here, but I'm wrangling them up behind the scenes. So.
Okay, so I'm going to ask if Jordan would take the floor at this time to offer what they would like to offer. And Jordan, do you have a piece? First of all, welcome. Good to see you again. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
What would you care to offer today to kind of begin the conversation from the teen perspective? What would you like to start as a kickoff point for this final event?
Like reciting a poem, or to discuss something how I feel?
You can do both, and you can choose whether you want to discuss first or use the poem as your kickoff point, however you want to do it.
Okay, I'll discuss the reason behind the poem I want to recite.
Okay.
The poem I want to recite is called The Phone Call. And basically I wrote that because throughout the entire quarantine and just the couple months passing, there has been a lot of deaths around the Black community, and I feel strongly towards it. And sometimes it makes me feel like I'm not capable of like helping out families that, you know, have lost someone. And I have 2 older Black brothers, so it kind of made me want to write something in acts of speaking their truths for the unspoken and people who can't speak up because they're not here with us anymore. Okay. So this poem is called The Phone Call. Why must I silence my voice in fear that I shall not live another day? Why my tongue in fear of being swung upon by authority, a man dressed in blue standing before me, stating my rights? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to your republic for which it stands, your nation, under my God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Justice for who? I must ask, we all bleed the same color, yet you decided to take my melanin skin as a threat. Scrape my skin off my back, beat me till I learn the lesson from what aspects? Throw open from left to right. Black brothers and sisters scared to keep speaking, so I stand up for them, speak our peace for them. Forget this flag, why is it still standing? Painted red, white, and blue. White stars represent my Black scars. You must not understand me when I say justice for who? You? Black man gets shot by a cop, no justice. White boy gets shot by officer, wait, but you haven't heard of this yet. Because being white is no threat. You must see the difference I'm speaking for my people. Put our colors on the ground, brown and red. Stop painting these streets, bleaching the sheets of all our loved ones. Shots fired, I go blanket by the side, the weight they go at stake. Won't stop till all quake of the decision that must be all extinct. We don't belong, so we remain silent. I'm innocent, please don't kill me, I'm innocent. We're judging this black book by its cover, standing out of order. We're going through this war, we're begging for our lives, we're battling, we're struggling. All men and women must rise, listen to our cries. We are fighting for our lives, and I promise you, we will rise. We have said this over and over again, yet each protest is on repeat, the same battle happening over and over. We need to stay woke, because these movies, they try and tell us some. Government trying to toy with us. All men were created equal, but not me, you see. They don't care about us. You know too much. Sound your voices like we sound our devices. They listen to us. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? The number you have just dialed is not available. Goodbye.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, Jordan Comer. Jordan, you are so just powerful in your writing. Just so that our viewers know where you are, what city do you represent as an ambassador?
District Heights.
District Heights, okay. So you're down in Maryland where I am, and I'm not quite in District Heights, but I'm neighboring District Heights. So thank you for representing. And do you have any upcoming readings where people can hear you that you know you're going to be speaking on issues of the day?
Not at the current moment, but if you follow me on Judge on Nicole on Instagram, I post all the time when I'm about to perform, and that's kind of where you'll get any of the information for that.
On Instagram. Okay, thank you so much. Well, we look forward to hearing from you again later before, of course, during this forum. Thank you for being the pivotal startup for the Teen Voice. All right.
Can I say something, Sister Joy?
Absolutely, Patrick.
I wanted to just say that there's definitely a powerful piece. I've heard that several times before, and she's always given me a little something different each time, especially in the way that she presents it. You were blazing through that poem. Slow down.
It blazed through.
But I appreciate the energy and just spotlighting the discrepancy a lot of times in what we consider the justice system and how we are treated versus other segments of the population, put it that way. So I appreciate just how she very strongly let us know how disturbed she was by the situation. Jordan is very creative also. She has her hand in so many aspects and genres. Besides being a poet, she's a terrific vocalist.
Oh, wow.
And she is always, her brain is always working. She texted me yesterday, and told me, hey, I just need to let you know, you inspired me to be an activist, and I'm going, and I have this friend of mine, and he wants to be an activist too. So can we put him down with the crew? And she's always bringing people in and inspiring others, and I'm very happy to have her with our organization.
Can I just jump in, Sister Joy, also,
Yes,
and just say to Jordan, I truly enjoyed your poem. District Heights is in the 25th Legislative District in Prince George's County, where I represent. And so I don't know what year you are in school, but when you figure out what you want to do after school, please know I do have senatorial scholarships, and this is for everyone. All of your senators and delegates have scholarships. If you're looking to retool or you're graduating and want to go to another level, please reach out and take advantage of the scholarship funds that the state has available for you. But I sure enjoyed your poem. It was fast, but I caught it.
Okay, thank you, Senator. Yes. And thank you, Jordan. Jordan, I hope you take her at her word, because I'm telling you, those offers are not just empty, offerings. I know for a fact. And we're always, sometimes it's a matter that you'd be surprised. People just don't even ask for it, So thank you very much for making that known. Now, we want to make sure that everybody realizes that this is an intergenerational conversation. That means everybody's welcome. So I see, let's see, I see Barbara Park, what is it, Park? I don't want to get the name right. Park Daly. Welcome, Barbara. Can you unmute for a moment and say a few words about how you came to be here today and maybe your connection with a previous FOLA event that took place this weekend?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I came to be here because I'm a fan of Cheryl Foster, and I missed the session yesterday with the art and the poetry. And when I came upon it this morning, I couldn't help but call who I thought was Cheryl, and I ended up with Sistah Joy, which was a happy coincidence. And it's great to be able to connect with other writers because that's what I do. I write because I breathe, or I breathe because I write. So
Okay.
I'm very happy to be able to sit in and as an ex or as a retired high school teacher,
Oh,
I thoroughly enjoyed Jordan.
thank you. Thank you. Well, see, I didn't know you were a retired high school teacher.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't escape teaching, but I still enjoy it.
Well, we may be asking for feedback from you on some of our contemplated projects in the future to see, get you to weigh in one way or the other, pick your brain and see what might what you feel might be viable and what might not. Thank you for being here so very
Well,
much.
thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. And I see also, well, let's see, how about we step back to Jali-D at this point? Jali-D, um, first of all, I know you heard that powerful piece by Jordan. Um, is there something that perhaps you might travel to from her message? That was a heavy message that she offered us. And where would you go if you were to follow her offering today?
Well, what I will do is to note how awesome I feel this young person is. And I also sense there's an education theme. We have a retired teacher, and I am currently a teacher. And one thing in our community that I think is important is excellence. And whether you are an activist or not, excellence is something that we should always strive for. It's something we need more of in our community. And in schools, I know I'm of an age and a generation where sometimes it was actually, and it probably still, I see it happening, not cool to be looked at as smart. Some people think that's a thing, actually. And we dumb ourselves down sometimes as individuals and as a community. And it's clearly not the way to go. So I have a piece called Words. And this also connects with the poetry that we are doing. And it deals with that theme of striving for excellence. And just because you have an expansive vocabulary doesn't mean you're a nerd or not cool or something foolish like that. So I have a short poem called Words. I try to do a little bit with the drum, but I know how the sound is. Words. A few words about words. Word. I like to learn new words that I've never heard. Have you heard that big words make you sound like a nerd? Rest assured, this simple way of thinking is absurd. To think learning words makes you sound like a nerd? This simple way of thinking is absurd. A big vocabulary makes you sound intelligent. People listen to your story when you're telling it. People stop and buy your product when you're selling it. And they expect of you no less of you than excellence. And when you're excellence, people think high of you. They say hi to you because they admire you. They want to be with you, although they don't know why they do. And once they're with you, they don't want to say goodbye to you. So I've decided to learn more words, not for a score or my next big test, but to express complex concepts and put thought for a broader context and success at whatever I put my mind to. I find on that endeavor my vocabulary shows that I'm a very clever guy. How do you know you cannot grow if you don't ever try? One thing I know, I couldn't flow without words. So I learned the words that I've never heard. I heard some words make you sound like a nerd. The simple way of thinking is for the birds. To say words make you sound like a nerd. What? The simple way of thinking is for the birds. What? The simple way of thinking is for the birds. Learn more words.
All right, word. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Jali-D. Okay, we see why you're the rap percussionist. Absolutely, absolutely.
You hear the drum also, by the way?
Yes, yes, we heard it just fine. It was perfect. Yes. Okay, well, let's see. I'd like to offer a poem if I may, and then maybe we'll go to, okay. So this is called Generation of Greatness, and I offer this for, well, for everyone, Generation of Greatness. Each generation calls its warriors you, who would stand and fight for right. Come to the front lines. This is a time that warriors must boldly thrust their powerful weapon of peace upon a sea of rage. Time to work and fight for, demand justice as you stare squarely into the face of fear, residing and hiding in the hearts of those terrified their yesterday has vanished, that a new tomorrow is on the horizon. The time is now for sons and daughters whose ancestors were once beat and slaughtered to claim their place on today's battlefield, fighting those who feel their claim to privilege is threatened. Mothers and fathers fear, cry, stand ready to fight while praying for their children. Even trips to the mall, school, and church are cause for concern when profiles are preferred over reason. Is this the killing season of which the Bible speaks? Times have changed, lives rearranged based on acts we don't expect, too often committed by those charged to serve and protect. Risk, chance, lack of, or heinous plans would bind, block, and bar this generation. But God calls you to greatness. Claim greater. Claim by breaking chains of despair, fear, and distrust. March forward in boldness. Open doors for others waiting to follow your lead. Plant the seed of victory and water it well. Let the echoes of ancestors grow within. Listen as they foretell of this generation of greatness. Contrary to popular belief, you can dispel the myth, defy the hype, stereotype. You can beat the statistics. More than a few of you have eaten in the kitchen far too long. But many discount your generation at their own peril. It's time to shake up the status quo. Deliver your own destiny with the waking of this new dawn. Take up arms for your own cause. The future for which many have fought is near. Remember, the night lasts only as long as your fear. So that's Generation of Greatness. And I hope it gave you something to think about. I'm hoping that those on this Zoom today will perhaps challenge themselves during National Poetry Month, because that's what April is, National Poetry Month, which is why we're having our FOLA during April. But I hope you'll, pick up that pen and find what it is that you would write to inspire encourage, or even challenge someone who might not have considered that words do make a difference. Okay, so let's see. As we continue our program, our forum today, I know that we have Debbie Day with us, who is observing. Debbie, are you observing, or are you prepared to offer something on mic today?
No, I'm just observing today.
Okay, well, thank you for being with us. Thank you, absolutely.
Yes, I usually observe most of the time.
Not-
but I've been with you for so long.
and I appreciate
Yeah, I've been with
it. We appreciate it, absolutely.
yeah, I've been with you for many, many years. And I always come as much as I can. I'm sorry I missed out on yesterday.
Well, all the videos are posted on my Facebook page, so you can find them, and they're also on the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council webpage. I'm sorry, Facebook page. So
Okay.
we want to make sure that persons who are interested in our programs have a chance to view them even after they're held.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I see Anita Williams is with us today. Anita, welcome.
Thank you.
Would you care to share either conversation or a poem about what's happening in our country today?
You know what? I actually had a couple of poems, but I can't find them. I was looking them up while I was listening to people, but if I find it, I will definitely read it before we leave.
Well, just put in the chat, found it, and I'll know to call on you, okay?
Okay, I will.
Okay, no problem at all. Let's see, and I do see Jacqueline Brown Woody. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for being with us today with Asala. Thank you so much. Would you care to say a word or two from Asala and about the issues of the day?
Good afternoon. And thank you, Sister Joy, for the acknowledgement of my viewing. I'm a lifelong learner and a lover of poetry, I think. So that's one of the reasons I tuned in today. I do also will bring greetings just on behalf of the Prince George's County branch, Prince George's County Truth branch of the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. And we are always, well, we consider ourselves partners with the Humanities Council and with Sistah Joy, who is one of our members. So any of you out there who are interested in promoting and disseminating Black history, Black culture, we invite you to join us and become a part of our organization as well. So I am enjoying everything I'm hearing today. And the issues of the day are always stimulated, I think, through the arts. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for being with us. Okay. I know there's a young lady named Trinity Washington who is with us today. I'm hoping Trinity has a poem, but I don't know. I know she often comes to support, but Trinity, please come on camera and let us know. Will you be sharing a poem or just your thoughts on the issues of the day?
Although my dad is a poet, I don't really write poems, really. So I don't have a poem prepared to speak. With the conversation, I know I can say that a lot of teens are feeling the same way about quarantine and like COVID and a lot of things that happen like during COVID-19. Like in the beginning, we felt kind of like happy. We got 2 weeks off of school, and then we realized it got kind of serious. And then like all these things were happening with like police brutality, and it was just kind of like getting a lot serious and like sad. So I think we all just needed like a community to come together and just like be with each other and support each other through everything. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Trinity. And that's so true. The community absolutely has to come together and has in many ways done just that. Thank God for those resources that are made available for those who have been adversely impacted by this pandemic. It's when we hear from spokespersons in the younger generation, such as Trinity Washington and Jordan, who are just letting us know that this is not just something that the adults have to deal with. There are so many challenges that whether it's just safely going to the grocery store, one of the few places that most of us ventured out to during this time of quarantine, or whether it's putting on a mask and participating in a protest because of the loss of lives, the heinous acts being committed against our people. These are times when we have to seriously consider our part in what is happening during this historic, very challenging time for every generation. This is not something that's just happening to young adults or teens or elders, or I mean, there are demographics that are affected in unique ways, but the reality of it is we are all in this together. And when we come together and share our truths and share our views and our fears and our victories, because there are victories, the victory of Dialect, working with youth, empowering them, guiding them away from thoughts of despair and depression, guiding them to be the voice that's heard in the wilderness. We thank Patrick Washington and Neville Adams for the incredible work that they're doing, providing that light at the, not necessarily the end of the tunnel, because we can't really say that we're seeing the end. We would like to think that that's the end that we see, but we really don't know yet. So all of that uncertainty is a part of what we're all having to grapple with. And I just want to give kudos where it's due, whether it's a young voice being lifted and speaking from a position of empowerment, or the organizations that are offering the support and the framework to keep those young voices strong. I thank you all for your part, because trust me, we all need to hear positive words, and words that are just letting us know that nobody is isolated. Although we may be in quarantine, nobody is isolated. We're all experiencing this together. I want to also invite to the mic, I see April Carter is with us. April, did you have something that you would like to share on mic? I'm very, very happy to see you with us today. Would you care to share? And you're still muted, if just in case if you're speaking. Okay, maybe she stepped away from her mic. Okay, so we'll, let's see, Anita Williams, would you care to speak on mic about your thoughts, or offer a poem, or just acknowledgement for what we're doing today? Anita Williams.
Yes, I actually thought I found the poem that I was going to read to you guys. I really just been observing, like the other lady was saying. I don't really know. I'm in a different state right now with the way everything going on. I'm 53 years old. The return back. So with that, I'm just kind of like feeling like we need to come together a little bit more. I've been writing a lot of poems about stuff that's happening, that's going on. That's why I tried to find a couple of them to read, and then it would probably say it better how I'm feeling. But I'm just observing and listening for right now.
Okay, well, if you decide, or if you locate something that you would care to share, just again, put it in the chat, found it, and I'll be sure to call on you.
Okay.
We would love to hear from you. Thank you.
And I am here with everybody. My daughter is here and have another meeting. So I was trying to like not interrupt, but I am here with everybody.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, all right. Let's see, did we have, I don't know, did I ask Aressa, would you care to share on mic? Welcome, Aressa. So happy to have you with us today.
Can you hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. You know, I'm new to Zooming. So this is my second experience.
Wonderful.
Yesterday was wonderful, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Barbara. Is she gone? Oh,
No,
yeah.
she's waving. Yes, she's waving.
We are colleagues. I'm a retired teacher as well.
Yeah.
I have a poem, The Power of Purpose, and I think this might uplift our spirits. Purpose is an inside job. No limits can be placed on you. Armed with will, might, and trust, the vision you nourish comes true. Look beyond what seems to be. Appearances deceive and misguide. Diligence and your heart's desire engenders wisdom, power, and pride. Purpose is a measuring stick. It provides a sense of direction. Make a move toward your goal with confidence, faith, and affection. The power of purpose propels you, inspires the greatness within, aligns your path to achievement, and prompts the soul to ascend. Purpose.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. Purpose. Well, I mean, that makes all the difference, when some people spend a lifetime trying to find their purpose. So we appreciate, and it's amazing. We've gotten quite a few teachers on the line today. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's who has an interest in this topic, I guess. But I'm very happy to have each of you here, and I'm very happy to see that Patrick Washington has indicated that he will do a piece for us. I'm looking forward to see what he might offer. Patrick, what would you offer today, this time, at least your first piece?
Okay, so I have a poem, and it's I think it's kind of timely. I wrote it I think last year. This poem is for all of those who marvel at Earth's mightiest heroes, those towering shadows that our children will look up to. Exceptional humans representing the best in us, the metal in our bones, the fire in our eyes, the wind in our voices, and the 70% of our tears. We've come to harness these currents, sure-footed as freedom riders. These Avengers don't wear capes. Our true crusaders carry briefs with case files. And many can remember a time when the Supreme Court upheld literacy tests as ticking time bombs to blow Blacks out of the voting booth. But some of us discovered that we had powers. Even as the sledge blows dropped upon our backs, we realized that once we sang deep into a space, a fissure would form. And if you focused on the positive space, then the pride would expand. The world would have no choice but to move. That is what our votes can do. And no radioactive mishaps were necessary. The man who looks like he can read your mind, he doesn't. He's simply been canvassing the neighborhood for months, listening to his neighbors. That is his power. The kid who used to shake every classroom green that they stepped into, but only did so because their stomach rumbled in absence, they turned 18 this year, and they will discover their power. We can all become heroes if we each put on our masks and step into the booth. I promise you will come out magnetic, glowing, evolved, and ethereal. Some of us are steered to this life when we hear from the dead, like James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, or Michael Schwerner. They were ripped from this earth for trying to register voices. Or Amelia Boynton, who left just as many bloody screams on the Edmund Pettus as John Lewis did, but nobody talks about her. Understanding that this story will be told by the historians, the time travelers who tape back together every echo the enemy ever ripped up, corrected every redacted history book. They will use their powers to reprimand and exhibit the crimes of our very own Lex Luthor. Through an exhaustible tug-of-war of tongues, the naked emperor on parade and his followers with caps dripping COVID, the picture of positivity, our heroes will use the strength of reasoning to dig deep and flip battleground states. Use the light of our hearts to illuminate the pain of the proletariat and not to line the pockets of the proficient. Their French vanilla wars are not our responsibility. They want to cripple our movement. They want you to work for them on that day. They want your drive to be so far. They want you to ache for hours. They will drop acidic thoughts into your brain in hopes that we all walk away. They want the savior climbing out of you every precious November, but we got this. This glow isn't magic, it's God-given. And this adventure will prove our worth if only we all hold hands, come together, and assemble.
Patrick, all right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I almost said amen, but that would be wrong, right?
Not at all. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. You go right ahead with your amen. Absolutely. Yes. You definitely have a couple of us ready to, take our Sunday hats off and say amen, amen. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Patrick. So let's see. I have, let's see, I don't see I found it yet in, oh, I do see I found it. Okay, Anita Williams, she said found it. Okay, how about we hear from Anita Williams? Anita, welcome to the forum. Welcome to the conversation. What do you got for us?
This poem I had wrote this around the time when everything was going on with George Floyd. It was just something I was feeling with everything. So, and I don't usually read my poetry, so this is my first time, so excuse me if I'm a little nervous. This is the one I found. It says, I can't breathe. They're taking my air. I can't breathe. Hatred is running everywhere. I can't breathe from what my eyes see. I can't breathe. They think Black is an enemy. I can't breathe, scared to walk the streets. I can't breathe. Somebody is following me. I can't breathe. My brothers and sisters are getting killed. I can't breathe, yet I can't be stilled. I can't breathe. They're trying to cut off my breath. I can't breathe. My soul cannot rest. I can't breathe. George took the knee. I can't breathe until my people are free. I can't breathe.
Oh, thank you for sharing that.
You're
Very
welcome.
timely piece, yes. Okay, and I'm glad you found it. I'm very glad you found it. And these are the realities that we're all impacted. You know, we all saw the video, the footage. I'm one that could not watch the full 8+ minutes. I just, when I saw what was really happening, I just had to avert my gaze and just not allow that into my spirit. But the reality of it is, I'm in a place that I could choose to look away. George Floyd had no choice, and it's the horror that so many were right there, and nonetheless, it happened in full daylight, in broad daylight, and there were folks at the ready to ensure that it was not stopped. And that's the horror of where we are as a society. And we would like to think, oh, well, that was then. It's surely, it's not still. Yes, it's still. People are still dying, and we don't have the answers. There's no way to remove every gun. There's no way to train every cop. There's no way to stop every bully. There's no way to, there's just so much. And unfortunately, because of this pandemic that we're living through, emotions are heightened, expectations are lowered. And here we are in this cesspool trying to figure our way through, survive our way through, swim our way through, not drown, not, but all of it is something that must be dealt with every day. And it can be overwhelming, but the reality of it is, and you know, I happen to be a woman of faith, so I do believe there is a purpose even in this. But when we are looking for an answer, especially when we have lost a loved one, it's difficult to feel anything but despair. But the reality is we do hold on. We have to hold on, and we have to lift up somebody else along the way. And that's usually the way we find our greatest strength. It's when we're lifting someone else along the way. I'd like to share a poem. And after this, let's see, I think there's another, found it in the in the chat, that we'll hear from the next person. But this is a poem. I think I originally wrote this for a group of teens I was working with. It's not a new poem, but it's titled Just Below the Surface. Listen, can you hear it? It's there, scratching just below the surface, at the underside, trying to break free. Your realities of possibilities have lain dormant long enough. They are now ready to awaken, ready to spring to life. They await only your head nod of permission to walk through the door to which only you hold the key. They are scratching at the surface from the underside, trying to break through to that glorious and powerful future. Bearing your name. Look closer. Can't you see? Feel them, clearing out the debris of hesitation and doubt, making your way for a new day. Yesterday has held you at bay long enough, kept your vision blocked, your dreams sequestered, locked away in that no man's land of untapped possibility. But today, your dreams are alive, scratching at the surface from the underside, champing at the bit, poised to do more than make raucous noise, as just another rowdy voice in the wilderness, in the stew.
Sister Joy, your mute is on.
Thank you.
The last word I heard was stew.
Oh, okay. Wow. And I don't know where that was. Okay. So, but today, your dreams are alive, scratching at the surface from the underside, champing at the bit, poised to do more than make raucous noise, as just another rowdy voice in the wilderness, in the stew of unfocused adolescence, ready to fall for the okie doke of following the crowd. You stopped following the crowd in your heart long ago. So now you know it's your turn to take the lead, blaze the trail no one else can see. This road has your name on it. So go ahead. Assume what destiny has held in wait for you, just for you. Take the lead. Lead the charge of waymakers and game changers. Show the world not just what possibility looks like, but what blazing brilliance and dogged determination look and feel like. Yours is the phenomenon of new dynamics, a new universe where success after success unfolds. Know that your story must be told in the key of your own voice. The only one that can give you permission to walk into your future is you. Welcome, my young champion, to your new tomorrow, made ready by yesterdays of preparation. Yours and countless others who came before. This is your domain where you make realities come true. You must open the door, scrape off the barnacles and parasites. They have leached onto you far too long. Free yourself from the confines of ignorance and fear. This is the day you take the shackles and blinders off. Success is no longer scratching just below the surface. Your future is being born today. Welcome to your new work, your new walk of vision beyond eyesight. That new and powerful thing you see is you. Welcome, welcome to life. Although that was written for young people, teens that I was working with at the time, I offer it to anybody who has been waiting for permission to live fully, waiting because they feel there's been something holding them back. And too often, the thing that holds us back is we ourselves. So thank you for listening to that. I hope it inspired somebody to take off the shackles, release whatever has been holding you back, and empower yourself. You know, sometimes we have to give ourselves a pat on the back and say, okay, it's my time. It's time for me to make this thing happen. I've been waiting for somebody to step up to the plate, and it's clear there's nobody behind me. That means it's me, it's my time. So let's see, I understand, and thank you for the comments in the chat. Let's see, I think there is a, we heard from Anita Williams. Did we hear? Yeah, we heard from Anita Williams. And I think there is, oh, I thought there was another found it in the chat. Does somebody else have a piece they'd like to share at this time? Yes, Barbara Parks Lee. I'm sorry. I'm sure it was in the chat. I just didn't see it now. Welcome back. Barbara, what do you have for us?
This is a poem that I wrote last year when I was taken back by the constant saying of, let's make America great again.
Oh.
And the question is, let's make America great again? Let's make America great again spouted from the parrot-shaped mouth of one who transposes great for another more racist time now covert, in place of a time more overt in the past. How can America be great again? As in days when everyone knew their places, days when race and gender and socioeconomic class garnered by wealth, stealth, inheritance, or oppression decided who would rule and who would serve in perpetuity. Let's make America great again, when all people are viewed as equals, when symbolic Obama hate fuels not anger, but desire to see beyond the rhetoric of alternative truths, to the reality of every person's life mattering, to those who would rule also be those bound without the basic necessities, not only of food, clothing, and shelter, but also the necessities of dignity, respect, and honor of our uniqueness and beauty. Let's make America great again. Only when truth beauty, and justice become the not sought after, but common, everyday experiences for every human being, regardless of origin, otherness, gender, religion, or suppositions of superiority or inferiority. Yeah, let's make America great. Not again, but as it should have been and never was.
All right. Thank you. And never was. Thank you so much. Now, before you leave us on that note, what was that what publication were you reading from?
Oh, we've come this far by faith. A little anthology that we did at our church.
Oh,
That was the workshop Encourager,
oh,
along with my son.
wonderful, wonderful. I said, now, I wonder, was that a publication we might be able to obtain? That was
It's called
wonderful.
We've Come This Far by Faith.
And what
And
church is that?
it's published by 48 Hour Books.
Okay.
And I can give you the ISBN. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you so much for sharing that piece. Very timely.
You're
Very
welcome.
okay. And let's see, looking gallery view. Let's see, can we see, how about Jali-D? Jali-D, can we come back to you to see what you might offer at this time?
Okay. Well, I'm sitting here listening to all these wonderful poetry, and I'm thinking, what could I offer? What should I do? And then Joy, you said scratching at the surface a few times, and it just dawned on me, a piece that I didn't know I was going to be able to do, but now that I think about it, and since you reminded me, I think it will fit in. You also mentioned about guiding people away from despair. And one way we can do that, one way this next piece will do that is by using humor. And humor is a powerful thing because oftentimes it takes topics that are painful and that normally are a result of despair, and it can allow us to think about it in a different way. So I say that to say, I am going to do a piece in which I use humor to talk about a very important topic. We haven't talked about it yet, but it is one of humanity's largest enemies worldwide. We all have, and COVID has shown us that we can have many enemies. But here is one that's been a problem with us for a while. I wrote this song a while ago, but it just shows you how relevant it still is. This song is about humanity's enemies, and it's called Mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. My humorous take on the problem worldwide, mosquitoes. Let's get those mosquitoes. They're a menace to all people. They should be illegal. Man, them bloodsuckers are evil. I can't let this those mosquitoes. They're a menace to all people. And they should be illegal. Those bloodsuckers are evil. Let's get those mosquitoes. The world should be done with them. Start hunting them. Exterminate every last one of them for causing the itches. Them insects that have you going ballistic. Got me acting sadistic. I tear their legs off. I kill them for pleasure. I get a head rush when I get one. Guilt trip? Never. I don't care if they're men or ladies. I've sprayed raid on the eggs and babies, and I'm a pacifist. And I know God's gonna kick my butt for this, but they got me acting blasphemous. Little monsters, evil bloodsuckers. I pray for their extinction. What the heck was God thinking? He's up there laughing while we're down here scratching. I asked him, oh Father, why doth this happen? Got no reply, just a bite on my thigh. Now all I pray is mosquitoes to die. So let's get those mosquitoes. They're a menace to all people, and they should be illegal. Man, the bloodsuckers are evil. I can't stand this little creature, steady trying to eat you or disrupt you while you're trying to sleep or ruin your camping trip or your picnic. As soon as you get there, you get bit real quick. You start to itch it 5 or 6 more times of this and you're like, forget it, I'm gone. On the day of my prom, I got bit on the temple. It looked like a pimple, messed up my credentials. One day, got hit in the butt while going to class, and these girls laughed when I scratched. Little monsters, evil bloodsuckers, I pray for their extinction. What the heck was God thinking? He's up there laughing while we're down here scratching. I asked him, oh Father, why doc this happen? Got no response, just some bites on my arms. Now all I pray is mosquitoes be gone. So let's get those mosquitoes. They're a menace to all people, and they should be illegal. Man, the bloodsuckers are evil. They cause yellow fever, dengue fever, Japanese encephalitis, Rift Valley virus, and chikungunya virus, the West Nile virus, and malaria. Kill millions of people. These bloodsuckers are evil. Yellow fever, dengue fever, Japanese encephalitis, Rift Valley virus, and the chikungunya virus, and the West Nile virus, and malaria. They kill millions of people. These bloodsuckers are evil. This entomologist said my song is foolishness. It's a dipteroculacid. I don't care who it is. I get attacked hard in my backyard. My hemoglobin's promoting their population explosion. And those in tropical areas carry malaria. Now your little itch got a whole lot scarier. And with this West Nile, it's becoming evident. We need the government. I'm calling on the president. Come on, Biden, man. Always talking about Afghanistan. But what's the mosquito plan? I don't hear no debate. Although the polls show there's an anti-mosquito mandate. So I advocate, but I ain't no lobbyist. Just a concerned citizen stating the obvious. Whose job it is, make the world a little more positive. So go kill some mosquitoes and don't let the lava live. So let's get those mosquitoes. They're a menace to all people, and they should be illegal. Man, the bloodsuckers are evil. Let's get those mosquitoes. They're a menace to all people, and they should be illegal. Man, the bloodsuckers are evil.
Oh my gosh. Now you're legitimately a genius. Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right. That was incredible. Thank you. Thank
Love
you,
it.
Jali-D.
Love it.
That we needed that. We absolutely did. Thank you so much, Jali-D. And Jali-D, please put your contact information in the chat so that folks can know how to be in touch with you. When we need some uplift, we're going to reach out to Jali-D because we know he's got it going on. Absolutely. Thank you. And that's true. I'm going to ask if anyone who would like to stay in touch, please put your contact information in the chat. I'm going to click everyone and put mine in here as well. And we want, yeah, there it is. It's difficult to do, yeah, there we are, to talk and type at the same time. You know, I'm one of the, I can't chew bubble gum and walk. I'm sorry. I'm just, but anyway, I did put my email in the chat. We want to stay in touch. And also by clicking on those 3 little dots called the ellipses at the very bottom right corner, you can save the chat. And that way you can hold on to everybody's, just remember, find where you're saving it to so you can find it later and be in touch with any of us that are on this Zoom today. I'm very thrilled with the conversations that we've had. I have one more poem I'd like to share. We are coming up on our close time, but if anybody else has another piece that they would like to share, I would like for you to put your name in the chat and to say one more. Just put one more. Your name will show who you are. Just put one more, and I'll call on you to possibly close us out. This is, as I said, this event is the 2021 Festival of Literary Arts, and it's taking place during the month of April because April is National Poetry Month. And as Poet Laureate of Prince George's County, it is my mission and my passion to take poetry everywhere that I possibly can. I want to afford everyone the opportunity to lift their voice on issues of significance, of issues that they feel to be relevant. And more often than not, those voices are uplifting to others. Whether it's something on the issue of mosquitoes, such as what Jali-D offered, which we absolutely loved, or the issues that Trinity or Jordan offered, all of these are voices of the people. And this is what poetry offers, the voice of the people to be heard. And it all contributes to enabling us to make it from one day to the next. So this poem that I'm offering now is a poem that I wrote kind of talking about, you know, why I do this thing, this poetry. Why is it significant to me? I hope you'll enjoy it. Again, it's some of you may have heard it. I think I shared it yesterday as well. But anyway, it's called Rock This. They tried to tell me I couldn't fly. Such a lost and broken bird was I. But life can teach unexpected things. Trust and love mend even broken wings. So I decided to try. I made a choice and found my voice. That old fear I once knew, it's gone. It's a new day. Old things have passed away. Even once broken birds can find a new song. It's amazing what trust can do. What worked for us can work for you too. But first, you must decide to try. Just trust. Then spread your wings and fly. You see, this is a night of victory. We've decided to write a new life story. It's our truth, which no one can deny. So sit back and watch us fly. It might seem like we're trying to rock the mic. The real deal is we're trying to fight the good fight. Lifting verse opens minds, sometimes opens doors, brings news, heartfelt views from our world to yours. We don't simply speak for ourselves when we write, but for weary warriors who fought day and night. We speak for the silent, the misunderstood too. We speak to inform those who don't have a clue. We speak for battered lives and tossed aside seniors. We speak with teens on self-esteem in crucial in-between years. We speak for honored champions who toiled and paid their dues, for those depressed and still in pain, for those fighting the blues. We also speak to lift the praise and to celebrate, and yes, to share the good news, because his love is great. So when we put our pen to page, like blood our feelings flow. And when we walk out on that stage, we speak of what we know. You see, life is our practice. Every day we rehearse. This craft is our sacred gift, built strong verse by verse by verse. Each time we pick up the mic, we defeat adversity. Each time we pick up the mic, we claim a victory. Each time we pick up the mic, a soul could be set free. Each time we pick up the mic, we fulfill our destiny. Some may call it rock the mic. We call it poetry. Happy National Poetry Month, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's workshop. Well, conversation, forum, workshop, however you want to name it. But it is something that I hope everyone has received something from. Jali-D, thank you so much for being with us and being a part of this conversation. And also, Senator Griffith, thank you so very much. I know I invited you to offer opening remarks. And of course, it occurs to me now, since you stayed with for the duration, that perhaps you'd care to offer closing remarks. Would you?
Well, absolutely. I love so much the experience that we all shared today. I came onto the Zoom not knowing what to expect. And I tell you, I've just been amazed at what you all have contributed and how you've just shared your creativity with us. You know, we started the conversation talking about the reckoning that's happened in this country, and we all know around social justice and police reform, health disparities, COVID, you know, there's so many issues that could burden us and bring us down. But this has just amazed me in its ability to just uplift my spirits. I started out high, and you all have taken me to another level. I have to tell you, Patrick, so much thank you for your work with the young people, and they, I mean, just amazing just how they are able to create and share with confidence, whether they shared poetry or conversation. And to each of you that's not in that youth group, but in my group and those in between, thank you so much for just being generous enough to share your creativity with the rest of us. I have to give a shout out to Josh Reynolds. I know Sister Joy always does. He's behind the scenes making it work, and we appreciate him. This has been an extreme joy. I can tell you it is not the last time I'll watch it. And I have to say, Jali-D, that was hilarious. I was over here, and as you know, all of the wonderful words that everybody has shared were incredibly uplifting, but I have a feeling I'll be walking around the house doing the mosquito dance. So thank you for sharing that. And you all have a wonderfully blessed rest of the day. And I look forward to seeing you at another Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council event. Thanks, Sister Joy. You are the bomb.com. You've done a phenomenal job again. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And